Last week I was here in the garden planting tulips, and based on comments I got underneath that video and on Instagram, I think I might have made a few rookie errors. Now, if you're a novice gardener like me, or perhaps you've got more experience, why don't you consider subscribing to my channel? All you need to do is to hit the red button marked subscribed, and that means that next time you open a YouTube app on your phone, your laptop or your computer, one of my videos will be waiting for you. So I think the problem last week was that I didn't dig my holes deep enough, and quite possibly it isn't cold enough yet to plant my tulips. So instead of going on the calendar month as to when you should be planting your bulbs, it's more about the actual climatic conditions. And from my point of view, having thought it through a little bit more, I think digging 10 holes and planting 5 bulbs in each was a lot of work, because I absolutely hate digging and I'm a bit ineffectual. And whether I would have been better off, as I'm trying to be a flower farmer, to have just planted them in one long trench. So today I'm going to be planting my mixed bag of daffodils, my narcissi, and I think I am going to plant them in one drift to make it much easier for me, and perhaps with a bigger space I'm going to have more elbow room, so to speak, to dig a decent sized hole. And my understanding is as well, from the comments you've kindly shared with me, that I think daffodils are a lot less temperamental than tulips. So here I am on a rainy November morning, contemplating doing a bit more digging and just hoping I'm not going to be treading too much earth into the kitchen when I finally make myself a rewarding cup of tea. If you watched last week's video, you might recall that my husband had put his pots of Arcanthus and it's not Rebecca, it's Echinacea, I think he said it was, over here. And I thought they were going to stay here for the foreseeable future. But because we've now had the work done on the hedge on the other side of the garden, he's put his pots back in the beds to sit there and overwinter, which means I've actually got a bit more space to do my planting. And I've also got the remnants, when this was where the chicken house was, we have a patch of comfrey here. So my husband was quite keen on making comfrey tea as a fertiliser. As I've taken over this bit of garden, I don't want ground cover. I want tall plants that I can cut and enjoy indoors. So I'm going to dig this patch up and then plant my daffodils in a drift here. But don't worry, if I ever do decide to make some comfrey tea, there is a small patch of it over there as well. So all is not lost if I decide that I want to make my homemade fertiliser. To be honest, that's just a step too far at me. But for the moment, I just want to plonk in the plants and let them grow. And we'll have to see whether I get into the finer details of making my own fertiliser, propagating things and sowing seeds. That'll be something to think about in the new year. So to do this job, I have got myself a garden fork, and I'm hoping, as it's been quite wet recently, the downside is I'm going to get muddy feet, but I'm hoping that the plants will come up without too much effort. So we'll just have to wait and see. As I said last week, this is the bit I don't like about gardening, just too much like hard work, although that has come up reasonably easily. But I just wonder whether there was a knack to digging, you know, a bit like going to an exercise class when you've got a teacher there, instructor, saying, you know, bend 2-3, stretch 2-3. Perhaps it would make it slightly easier and be more effective if I actually knew the mechanics of digging. There's lots of lovely worms in here. Well, this seems to be going exceedingly well at the moment. Oops. I spoke too soon. my next thought is, as this is where the chicken house used to be, the chicken run, whether there are hidden paving stones and wire netting underneath all this lot, put there to keep Mr. Fox out. So I will have to dig deep. I'm just conscious when I hit things whether it is a stone I'm hitting or something that's going to be more digging out. Oh, what does? So I've dug this up. So what is this? Can you see the worm? Is this the bulb of the tuber of the Arum Italicum pictum, which is over there, or something else? What do you reckon? Should I keep it or put it in the compost heap? Oh, compost heap. Can't keep everything. Well, success for the first part of the job. So I've cleared the bed and now I need to dig one big hole. So the bulbs have to be put in 3 times deeper than the size they are. So the bulbs are this big, they need to go in that deep and then be about 7 to 10 centimetres apart. So this is where my spade comes in, and standing on the firm ground I'm going to dig a hole. The first time I put my spade in, I'm hitting something. Oh. I think actually it's a paving stone. I was right about the chicken defences. Oh gosh, am I ever going to get that up? Crikey. Well, perhaps I just want a feature of a sunken paving stone. Oh, remind me why I'm doing this. Because it's going to look beautiful in the spring, Julie. Trowel and a bit of archaeological digging, I reckon. This is the problem. Well, it's another stepping stone for the garden. Let's get digging again. Oh no. Well, I guess if there was one there was going to be on here as well. Or perhaps it's just a bit of crock. Oh, crikey. Well, this is absolutely killing me. How do you gardeners dig holes? It looks so easy when they do it on the telly. want to make a mistake, I think I did with my tulips, of not digging deep enough. Dig deep, tulip, dig deep. So look, it's got to be 3 times deep. It's about hand width. That's a bulb. 3 times deep. Oh, just about there. I've now got a hole, a trough. It's not exactly a big blade of tulips. They're going to be sitting in one line, but I guess I could plant a line here, put the soil back in, and then dig a second line over there. I just had visions I was going to sort of scalp all of this and move it. It's too difficult. Perhaps I ought to have one final go. Leave that off there. And just go so close. Oh gosh. I hate this. Well, let's move on to something I think I should be capable of. I've got my brown bag, which my bulbs came in. I'm going to mix them all up. So this is Avalanche. Gosh, they're huge bulbs, 3 times as deep. And then you've got Silver Chimes, slightly smaller. And then Actea, A-C-T-E-A. Ooh, pleasingly small. Perhaps my hole is deep enough. And then finally, Narcissus geranium. These are quite large as well. Mix them all up. Ready for a pick and mix. So 7 to 10 centimetres apart. I think I'm then going to have to dig individual holes for them because this isn't really deep enough. I've got tree roots here. One. 2. 3. Try a different technique for this next row. So I've loosened up the soil. Dig deep. Ooze a bit. And put 2 in each hole. that's it. The back-breaking work is done. I'm just going to put them all in. Perhaps cut some flowers as a little bit of reward. And then back to my regular round of jobs, which I know I've got the skill set for. Scabious ready to cut. Tiny stems. These will look lovely. So this is today's harvest. One wind-fallen pear and a handful of very short-stemmed scabious. Well, it's starting to rain a little more heavily now, so it's definitely time to go indoors. So thank you so much for cheering me on in the sidelines. I think really I have well and truly had enough gardening for one day. My hands are dirty, my back aches a little bit. I'm quite honest, I'm desperate for the toilet. That's all for me for now, and I'll see you in the garden next week.